I went into my 30s standing on the proverbial adulting cliff thinking that I had it all figured out. Instead of the suave and polished existence I had envisioned for myself, my 30s came at me like a rogue wave, drenching me in unexpected challenges, questionable fashion choices, and a whole lot of existential crisis. And now that I've been in my 30s for a few years now, I'm gonna share with you guys 5 things that nobody tells you when you turn 30. First thing is the pressure to have your life all figured out. 30 seems to be the age where society expects you to have everything figured out. Perfect job, a loving partner, a white picket fence with a poodle, the whole shebang. But let me tell you guys, once I hit my 30s, I quickly realized that having it all figured out is about as rare as finding a unicorn in my backyard. I vividly remember when I turned 31, the pressure that started to weigh on me as I was scrambling to just be happy with the life that I had created for myself to this point. It was a Tuesday morning and I found myself hunched over my laptop, just trying to sort through different job postings because I felt like I had made a wrong turn in life. Comparing myself to others just became a daily ritual and it was tearing me apart. The more I compared, the worse I felt. It was like every achievement or milestone I had reached to that point felt minuscule compared to the people that I was seeing online, scrolling on Instagram, or even my friends that, at least from my point of view, looked like they were doing a lot better than me. 10 years ago, I was working for my friend who had a channel with almost 3 million subscribers, and I just never thought that it was something that I could achieve myself. I always thought about what would other people would think of me, and I just avoided doing something that now come to look at it is bringing me a lot of joy and happiness, and I wish I would have started sooner. And the solution to this self-inflicted torment wasn't found in this rabbit hole. It really came just from a place of self-acceptance and understanding. And this perspective shift wouldn't have happened if I didn't take a very hard look at myself and stop comparing myself and stop caring about what other people thought and just knew that, okay, maybe you didn't do it 10 years ago, but you can do it now. Realizing that life's not a rat race and we're all on different paths and we all achieve things at different levels in life. There are people that are 10 on YouTube that make tens of millions of dollars opening toys. And then you have people that are much later in life that don't even have enough for retirement. If you're in your 30s and you're still struggling with having it all figured out, just know that you're not alone and it's not too late and you can still go and do great things and just this is essentially me starting over. Like, if this becomes a full-time thing one day, I'm 32 now, and before I started, I thought that I was way over the hill to even start, and that's silly. The next thing no one told me was the significance of self-care. Self-care in your 30s is not what they show you in the fancy magazines where everyone's wearing yoga pants and drinking green smoothies. Self-care in your 30s is more like a comical dance of wanting to take better care of yourself and then realizing that you can't bounce back as quickly as you used to. In high school, I was in fairly good shape. I ran cross country and track, played basketball, did all that, and I could run pretty fast, for me at least. And when I started a high intensity workout class last year, trying to get back in shape, I thought that was a piece of cake. I could run super quick, like no problem. My stamina was that of a wilting flower, and I couldn't do what I used to do. I was not the same person. My muscles were revolting against me, and when I tried to run up the hill in a sprint that I was comfortable doing 12 years ago, my body just was like, nah, bro, like, what are you doing? And outside of working out, we all know the joys of hangovers in your 30s. Gone are the days of partying all night and then getting up without a hangover and doing it all again the next day. Now a single glass of wine has me rendered useless for pretty much the entire rest of the evening. I'll wake up with a pounding headache, desperate for some greasy food to cure my aching soul. And then there's weight gain. I was so skinny growing up, I could eat anything I want. And when I hit 30, my metabolism checked out of the hotel. He said, you're on your own now. Before I could just throw down a frozen pizza and just wake up the next day with abs and no harm. Now I eat a frozen pizza and my ass is the size of Manhattan. I even suspect that a cookie can look at me and I will add an extra pound. This is a cruel twist of fate, my friends. The next thing that no one told me was my friends would disappear. Friendship in your 30s is like a delicate dance of nostalgia and trying to make new friends without being weird. When I entered my 30s, I had no idea that my friendships that I had built for decades previously would be as complicated as solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Friendships that I had since I was a child completely disappearing overnight. People I hung out with every day in college, don't even see them anymore. It seemed like life's inevitable tide was just pulling us all apart. Busy schedules, career aspirations, family responsibilities, it just became the new norm. And therefore, those impromptu late night adventures or get togethers we'd have a couple times a year, if that, would just be a lot more cherished. And aside from losing those friendships, in your 30s, it's even harder to make new friends. Getting a new friend in your 30s is like trying to crack the Da Vinci Code of socialization or something. There's no more bonding in shared dorm rooms or classrooms or getting introduced to other friends. When we're thrown into this maze of adulthood, we're just expected to already have our sub-friend groups figured out, and if you approach someone, it's very elusive. It's like they just would think you're weird if you're in your 30s and you want to make a new friend, because they're like, why don't they already have friends? I don't know. I don't get it. It's just very intimidating. And like I said, people just are in their own little world and have so many other things piled up that sometimes it feels like if you don't have friends at this point, then good luck. I do believe that the beauty in friendships in your 30s, though, lies more in the quality than quantity. While the number of friends overall may dwindle, the few that you do still have are going to be very strong. These are the friends that weather the storm of life with you. They are the ones that you know you will have forever, no matter what, through thick and thin. And yeah, it weeds out a lot of people, but I'd rather have a few great friends than just a lot of friends. The next thing no one told me was how expensive life would get. Just when you thought that you had your life together slightly, you put some money away for a rainy day, or you had a little bit of a savings, then that's when life comes and slaps you in the face with a financial reality check. When you're in your 30s, life gets a bit more expensive than that expensive brunch on Sundays you have with your friends after a long night of drinking. When we're carefree, budgeting means like deciding between a regular coffee or a fancy latte. But when you're in your 30s, sneaky expenses just skyrocket. Seems like the cost of living is outpacing my bank account. Rent, groceries, utility bills, FabFitFun subscription. Once this is all sucked out of my bank account, I have to make the choice of sacrificing avocado toast or living out of a cardboard box. Let's not forget about health insurance, car insurance, life insurance, insurance for your insurance. Just when you thought you decided on one policy, another one comes out of the shadows demanding all of your money. I would have thought that being an adult would mean that you'd have to pay a small fortune just so you don't go bankrupt from sneezing in the wrong direction. And there's this endless stream of events and birthday parties, and wait for it, weddings. It seems like your 30s is the age of celebrations, but celebrations come at a cost. The wedding invitations just rack in one after another that just come with such a fancy price tag that just drains your wallet like a leaky faucet. And the never-ending cycle of gift shopping. It's like being trapped in the real version of The Price is Right, but I don't even get the opportunity to win the damn car. And if there's any hope in surviving this, it lies in making smart financial choices and budgeting. Budgeting doesn't sound sexy, but when you actually know where all of your expenses are going and you can allocate what you have left to things that seem like obligations more than things you actually want to go to, but you have to, then you actually have the means to do so. And remember that it's okay to decline invitations to go do things if you don't have the means to do it. There were so many times where I felt like I was obligated to do something that was out of my price range, and I had to put credit card money on it, and I regret doing that. The next thing is embracing change and overall personal growth. It's like discovering the secret menu at your favorite restaurant that you've been wanting to try for years. Unexpected, yet intriguing, yet downright perplexing. And as we journey through this 10-year strange period of life, we start to realize that change isn't just a distant concept, but it's a reminder that time doesn't stop for anybody. I think I had my welcome to your 30s moment when I discovered that I had a gray hair. I woke up one morning just in complete disbelief. Like, there's no way. I'm only 30. This was a tough one. This was like, all right, man, you're old. But now I just try to wear it like a silver badge of honor, where I feel like I can corral a group of young lads and tell them stories of my wisdom and my journeys in life. I also realized that in my 30s, my perspective on life just overall began to shift. Suddenly, the small letters on books or menus that I could read no problem start to look like ancient hieroglyphics. That's when I reached for my trusty pair of glasses. How you doing? It's like entering a secret club of squinting and forehead creasing intellectuals. And let's not forget the evolution of our tastes and interests. Our beloved boy bands like 98 Degrees, or our choice of fashion all of a sudden becomes like an old relic of a past generation. And suddenly you opt out of your late night partying phase for a cozy evening at home where you hopefully make it to your bedtime of 10 p.m. What I think is cool though is when you are in your 30s and you start to make those changes, I feel like you can kind of step into who you truly are and who you want to be, and you can kind of shed that old skin of yours and just live a new life on your terms. My 30s has been a time of exploration and transition for sure, but it's also been a really eye-opening experience for the person that I want to become. It's forced me to level up and really rely on no one except myself. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I make new videos every week. Let me know in the comments what you liked most, what you relate to, what I missed. Please check out my next videos coming up, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.